This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use coupon code SOUTHGATE to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hey, what about that big wine tasting at the boss's house?
I wouldn't recommend going.
I heard it's hazardous to your health. Anyway, welcome back to the Angel Chronicles. I am Phil, and joining me as always, because I invited her in, my mistake is...
Yeah, it is totally your fault. Lilith Hellfire, y'all.
Tasted like candy, she did. It tasted like clover.
Drusilla. It's always fun.
Drew stole the show this time. But, I mean, we were no interruption in the podcast, but, yeah, we recorded that stuff ahead of time, so it's been, like, at least a week or two since we recorded our last episode, and I'm glad we took the break.
Excuse me?
Well, no, I'm just saying, this episode always hits me, like, this is the very one that was, when this originally aired, this was, like, the first episode I really remember going, whoa. At the end, I was like, whoa.
Oh, I can totally understand. I mean, and then, like, mind you, this is when TV shows used to go till, like, damn near Christmas, because this one aired December 19th, 2000. Yeah, can you imagine a TV show going till December 19th now?
Well, I mean, that was, like, a good, like, you know, cliffhanger till the New Year. It's just like...
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I feel like the breaks were shorter back then too, but you know, for her latest. But we'll get there. So yeah, basically this episode is, to sum it up, Angel and the Scooby Gang race against the clock to find Darla before she completely turns into a vampire after Drusilla, you know, turned her.
Yeah, because the beginning guns dragging Angel back into the hotel after last episode. It's like, I got him here without him bursting in the flame or anything, and Angel was just like muttering incoherently. And
so yeah, after Drew turns, her and Darla literally paint the town red. Like,
they go shopping.
And then is this still? I always want to say this is the last episode for Kate, even though I know it's not.
No, there's a.
We're getting close though.
Yeah.
We're getting close
this season. Yeah.
And we also get, like, interference between Lindsay, Lila, and Holland, much to their chagrin at the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's... Yeah, everyone... well, I was going to say everyone else regretted their mistake, but even with death breathing down his neck, literally, Lindsay was just like, all right, whatever.
I mean, he's a lawyer already, you know, who sold his soul to a demon hell dimension, so you know he's unflappable at that point.
It's like that. He's like that. What's his face on Saturday Night Live? Yeah, cool, whatever.
Yeah. So then, like, okay, so you talked about like gun dragging Angel back into the hotel, but like Wesley and Cordy, Tweedledee and Tweedledum are looking for information on Wolfman Hart's plans for Drusilla and Darla. I'm like, you think they would keep that on the internet?
Well, it was the year 2000.
I know.
Let's put this on the end. People still had trust in the internet back then, though.
Did they? Because I know I sure.
Wow, you never had trust in anything.
True, touche. But Angel breaks into Lindsay's apartment, and that's empty. He talks to his landlord. He's like, his strange English cousin plans on having a baby. And I was just like, oh, Drusilla is a strange English cousin.
I know. At first I thought, the first time I saw this, I thought she was talking about Darla, and then she said, like, you know,
No, that comes later.
The foreign cousin, yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, Drew. But no, I mean, at least Lindsay was smart and moved out of that apartment because he had already invited Angel in.
Exactly. I love how she kind of goes, you know, they're talking about the ritual in her Drusilla way. She's like, you know, a nursery and a view of the stars for a traditional rebirth. So it's a greenhouse. I was like, that was a nice greenhouse. How are you just going to ruin it like that?
And Gunn figures it out.
Yeah. Yay, you're not just muscle. Good for you, Gunn. You get a gold star. So Angel finds her buried beneath the dirt in a veil, and I'm just like, okay. I wish that was Ryan Reynolds, that movie where he's buried. I think it's just called Buried. I don't remember. But I still got flashbacks.
I think you did. You say when Drew was in the Wolfram Hart office talking to Holland and Lindsay and Lila? Oh, that's
oh my god, that was the best. Like Drusilla is bat guano crazy, I freaking love it.
She's just talking about how Grandma likes it and everything, and then I think was it Lindsay asked her about her, and she's like, "No, she's dead."
Yeah.
Grandma.
I think my favorite moment though is when Drusilla knocks Angel in the head with a shovel. I was just like, yeah.
You mean the part where she kicks it up like a boss?
Yeah. I was like, she might be crazy, but girl's got some moves.
Well, I was trying to figure. I'm like, is this like Anne Rice, where like older vampires are like stronger than like the young ones? Or are they all basically the same like strength level? But like, I guess he
doesn't drink human or whatever he does.
Well,
it's not the same as taking it from a human.
And Drew's got the crazy strength too.
True. Yeah. So that happened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Darla wakes.
How embarrassing is it to get your tail whooped by a vampire you made?
I know.
Almost as embarrassing as the vampire she made killing 2 slayers, eh?
I mean, I guess you could say that he was trying to go easy maybe on both of them, but yeah, again, Drew don't care. Drew's crazy. I mean, think about it. Drew's crazy and she has no soul.
So true.
So what's that like, Lilith?
It's kind of difficult, can't see yourself in mirrors anymore. You don't show up on camera anymore.
I did like that scene in the department store where the cops like going over the evidence, and he's like down on the floor and he looks up, he hears noise, thinks he hears noise, looks up, sees nothing in the mirror, but then you see Angel standing behind him.
Yes.
Oh, but no, the greenhouse scene, because of course it's on a roof because they're in LA.
Yeah.
Batman jumped onto the roof.
They just couldn't let it go. They're like, you know what? We're getting one Batman moment.
I love it. Because
where's the grappling hook?
That's half the reason that coat's there is because cape.
The Dark Knight of LA. Because even Batman wouldn't step foot in LA in the early 2000s. Maybe Green Arrow, but not Batman.
The Dark Knight of LA, instead of a cow, he has hair gel.
And guyliner. But anyway, then, after that whole thing, we get the whole infamous Holland's talking to Lindsay about the wine tasting, and I'm just like,
foreshadowing.
I guess we're getting all communion style. We're gonna take it literal about that wine a little bit.
And then Angel just comes swinging through the window.
It's like, what the hell?
All Batman style.
I know. Corey's vision.
I was like,
was that even a real vision? I feel like it wasn't a real vision.
I mean, they showed it, made it look like she was having a real vision. I mean, it just
seemed like she was trying to get them to go the opposite way. Whatever was going
I think the powers that be were. I think Wesley hit it on the head. I think the powers that be were like, oh no, bro, this way lies madness. Turn the back the other way.
Yeah, and then Courtney's like, I'll stake you.
Oh, and then she's like, but then it's some loser in a garage.
Yeah. And it seems like Darla's actually kind of upset about being a vampire again.
It seemed like it was at first, because I remember watching this the first time and I was like, wait a minute.
She was ready to take responsibility and be human. And
well, at first I was like, wait a minute, is her humanity like still there, even though she's a vampire again? But then
she wasn't completely transformed yet, so I think this is the closest we have ever really gotten to answers about like how vampires do their business in the Buffyverse. Because we don't, on Buffy, we really don't like dwell on it. We just know that, you got to drink blood to turn. But I feel like this was a little bit closer examination of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't remember before them having like a big thing. So, all right, here's my question that came up this time when I was watching this. If Darla had been in the sun that day, would she have burned or not while she was like mid transformation?
Ooh. I think she would have.
You think? You think the minute that blood goes in, you burn, or does it take a little bit of transfer, at least partially transform to start burning?
That's a toughie. What say you people? Email us. Let the debate rage.
capesandlunatics@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
I don't think they even know it, because I think once someone gets like turned, they're just like, oh, let's not take a chance. Let's keep them covered until nightfall.
Well, actually, if you're a True Blood fan, and actually this goes back to vampire lore in general about dirt, you do have to be buried in a rise at night. Sometimes it used to be you had to wait till the full moon or stuff like that. So it is something about being buried in your rebirth and stuff like that, and waking up at night.
Well, like here, Angel just said, Drusilla is like just likes the whole ceremony and ritual and pomp of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's actually a thing of vampire lore, and I think True Blood actually did a really good job with it. I just say True Blood did a good job with something related to vampires. Kill me. Kill me. Just stake me right in the heart with Mr. Pointy.
There's my drop.
Yeah. Out of context, dropped is out of context. Anyway, we get to that garage scene because he's getting ready to sacrifice himself for that.
I love how
that Morgog demon.
Yeah, I love Angel just like whips the gun into like a drum of oil. He's like, Morgog's not worth the kid. He couldn't find his hairy spinal hump with 6 hands or something. It's so stupid like that.
Yeah.
Angel's ready to walk out. Wesley's like, we're not done here. It's like, yeah, we are. I am.
Yeah.
Which
he calls Drusilla and tells the ladies to massacre the town. He's like, Wolfram Heart's behind you, darling. Like, they're about to be behind your neck.
But I mean, the whole thing with Angel, like, I get it. He was too obsessed, maybe, but it's like I kind of get his point too. It's like, yeah, unless his kid's like opening a portal like to destroy the world. I mean, there's 2 actual killers out there, But it
is LA, to be fair, where it's like literally the home of serial killers. So,
Yeah, but I mean, supernatural powered. I mean, and Drusilla's nuts to begin with, and Darla's just been changed for the 2nd time.
I'm just saying, LA has seen worse.
I know it. Well, and the Angel knows what the 2 of them are capable of, because he's capable of the same thing.
I would have just called Buffy. She killed Darla the first time. It's fine. I would have called Spike to bang some sense into Drusilla for some time. Like, I'm just saying. Just, maybe a day or 2,
I mean, that would make sense, calling with some reinforcements, at least Buffy.
The werewolf guy, the witch.
Although didn't they have that thing at the end of season 1 though? It's like, this is my city and I'll do things how I want. If nothing else, he should have broke Faith out of prison.
I'm saying. Well, we had to save that for something else.
Yep.
Spoilers. But by the time we'll get there, you'll have forgotten that I mentioned this spoiler, so it's fine. Unless you're binging. And good for you if you're binging our podcast. Anyway, how does Kate get into this? Because Angel gets arrested.
Well, the Wolfram and Hart guards take him out of the office after it crashes through the window, again, Batman style. Yeah, the cops come and take him, and they put him in the cop car, and Kate's sitting in the back. Even Angel gets that look you get. He's just like, oh, what do you want?
I love that Holland introduces himself as head of special projects.
Yes, I think that's the first time we've heard that, isn't it? Head of special projects. Yes. And I just love, it's, Angel's like, they're out there, they're gonna be, they're gonna kill indiscriminately, and there's gonna be a blood.
He's like, oh damn, I gotta let you go again.
Oh no, I love Holland's line where he's like, and somehow I just can't seem to care. Well, remember that line, kid. Remember that line. And then I love Holland as he's walking out of the office. He's like, yeah, I'm late for my wine tasting. And he looks at Angel and says, oh, and by the way, you are not invited. I'm like, man, I'd be afraid to do that. Just the spell heard you wrong.
Exactly. I mean, Latin is tricky.
Uh-huh.
Although it's like, shouldn't it be like Babylonian or something way more like, I don't know, something like way more ancient than Latin? I'm just saying these.
Yeah, but supernatural stuff, very popular with the kids.
With their sexting and their murder. Yes, I know.
And their grams and their snaps.
Seriously, I'm gonna need a Snapchat tutor. That's how old I feel when I get on that damn thing. I gotta find me a 10-year-old and be like, "Hey, how does this work?"
If you
maybe Luca can explain it to me.
Maybe, because I think him and Danielle. I was gonna say when you come up here, Danielle may be able to walk you through it.
All right. Not that I'll ever use.
Poor shame. You two are like the same age too.
Well, you guys have a kid. Kids keep you young, supposedly. That's why I don't want them. I want to be old and crotchety and curmudgeonly as soon as possible. Matter of fact, get off my lawn. Well, and to be fair, it's Florida and it's summer and the kids are out of school and they are like all congregated because they have no parents apparently because it's 9:00 at night. Anyway, Howland's wife.
Boy, he married young, didn't he?
It's probably like his fourth demon wife or whatever.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe it might be like Oh, maybe that was part of his demon package. Yeah, he's like, yeah, what a young, attractive wife.
I mean, it's LA. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer at a powerful firm.
And then the senior
keeping up with the Joneses.
And that would have been a great story. Then the senior partner's like, oh yeah, well then you have to sacrifice the old one. Oh, deal.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay her alimony anyway. There is no first wives club at Wolfram and Hart.
Deal. Could have greased the wheels, Lindsay.
Oh, I love it. I love when Darla and Drew show up in the room and they like are smelling all the fear, and Lindsay's just like, I don't even care anymore.
I know. The rest of them is just like, I love to Holland with that weird look on his. Oh, what we skipped? The shopping spree.
Oh, I almost wanted like an 80s like Brat Pack like montage.
Darla just like, hello, can we get some help? The woman's like trying to crawl away.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I figured Joss Whedon might have wanted to direct this episode just for the shopping scene montage, but we got some guy named James A. Contner. But it's funny because this episode is written by Tim Minear, which is like one of the big guys, and Sean Ryan, another like heavy hitter. So I figured Josh would have wanted to have some fun with Darla and Drew, but he must have been busy with something Buffy related or Firefly related, or I don't know.
But again, just that Drusilla, she's like, oh, I'm ringing.
Yeah.
Darla pulls out the phone. She's like, oh yeah, forgot about that.
Dude, do you ever think how weird it must be if like vampires actually existed and like they got like turned in like the 1600s and they lived to like 2019?
Oh yeah,
they're keeping up with the Joneses. They have to get the newest iPhone, but they can't wait in line. And
I mean, think about it. Think how much trouble your grandparents had working a cell phone, and now just imagine someone born in the 1600s.
Yeah,
it's sorcery.
Wait a minute, isn't that what the Vampire Chronicles is all about? Like literally,
these children and their MTV.
I know. Wow, and I just want to do a slight rant. MTV. Usually when it's MTV's birthday, they only play music videos all day long, and this is like the first time in 15 years that they will actually be playing their stupid reality shows. And I'm so bummed. I was looking forward to it, and then somebody posted it on Facebook, and I'm like, they're not gonna play music on the birthday.
It's done. Oh my lord, kids.
Right, it's literally the end of an era. Just MTV, just go off the air. Kids, just rebrand yourself. Crappy reality.
Kids back in the day could turn on MTV and you could watch a music video. If there wasn't an episode of Beavis and Butthead or Darla on,
Daria. Not
Daria. Sorry. Well, I'm thinking of this episode. Sorry. Yeah.
I know.
People
That's
complain.
just my small rant, like how old I am,
I
and how
know.
old I feel.
We
But
just got most of the day. You got music videos. Maybe on us. What was it? Was it Friday or Saturday?
But on their birthday, they're supposed to do this. Like even though it's 2019 and you can watch every single video you ever want on Vivo, I get it. In YouTube, I get it. It's still like something.
Give us some Headbangers Ball again, people.
Oh my god, I love that show so much. I miss MTV Unplugged the most.
Yes.
Anyway, back to this episode. I love that Holland's wife gets bitten by Drusilla. And she's like, help me! And Angel's like, nah.
She was stupid enough to invite them in.
Yeah, exactly. And then Darla's like, hey, Holland, you never gave me that last kiss.
I mean, they don't look like lawyers. I'm like, what did she think? Oh.
Strippers. Or they could have been demon sacrifices for all she knows.
Man, that's what I was wondering, how much she knew about the family business, the wife. But yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe she was like, oh, did one of Holland's, one of his minions order up some strippers or something?
They're not even classy enough to have him jump out of a cake. For shame.
Oh, that's when Drew gives him the line. Oh, yeah, she was. Darla's like, oh, yeah, your wife was lovely. She tasted like clover.
Ugh.
And honey.
Yuck. If it doesn't taste like a 2-pound prime rib with au jus sauce, I pass.
Oh, listen to Miss Meat Cleanser over there.
I mean, sometimes you have to like get it out of your system to really appreciate and savor the flavor. Like, really, honestly, like fasting and stuff, it works.
Savor the flavor of what, love?
Meat, Philip.
Yes, there's my drop. Meat.
Anyway, this isn't Wade's World. Moving on.
I know.
I love that he just locks the room. He's like, "Peace out, y'all."
Oh no, we got to go through this dialogue. Yeah, but like Darla telling Holland, oh yeah, we're working on what you talked about, a massacre.
Yeah.
And then of course Angel show, after Darla and Drusilla scare the lawyers by sniffing them for a while. Angel shows up and then Drusilla's like, Daddy's home.
Now that would have really been something.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that was angelic.
Switch off and just ate the lawyers too.
But then he comes downstairs and she was like, "It's not Daddy. It's never Daddy. It's the angel beast."
Yeah. I just want to get to my favorite scene. It's like when he goes back to Angel Investigations and he's telling them the story, and they're like, they're blaming themselves for not doing something sooner. And they're like, "Are you okay?" And we're the only thing standing between you and true darkness. And Angel's response is like,
"You're right.
You're all fired."
Yeah.
And you're like, "What?"
And that was like the cliffhanger until January. Yeah.
I know. It's just like, Angel Investigations.
But I just
made a little boo-boo. Angel, I'm about to ruin this whole crew's life. You're fired. He hit him with the trump.
I just love that because like Lindsay's giving that whole talk, and and Gunn's like, yeah, you're, they're right, and Angel goes, "You're right." Takes a pause. We're all fired.
But then I feel like if you're a Buffy fan, I feel like Angel's decision to let Darla and Drusilla slaughter the lawyers is like when she leaves Billy Fordham at the mercy of Spike and Drew with their gang of vampires.
Well, yeah, it's like, how many deaths has Wolfram and Hart been responsible for?
Oh, this is a bloody episode too. We got to see a lot of it too. Yeah.
I mean, there was nobody in that room who was like, "Oh no, I didn't know what they were doing." Everyone there was, actively plotting like people's deaths and demon takeovers and all kinds of stuff.
One of my favorite Angel bloopers is actually from this episode. It's at the 19-minute mark when the car is skidding. There's a yellow green mannequin where Cordelia is supposed to be sitting.
Yes, I did. I did see that, especially this rewatch. Yes, yeah, when he turns the car around, yeah, because she's supposed to have like her head back. Yeah, and I was like, that's a mannequin. Yeah, you don't want to hurt her. Yeah. But I mean, if Angel wanted to, he could have let Darla and Drusilla, drink their fill in that room and then like burn the house down or something.
And yet, somehow, I just can't seem to care. That should be Kate's theme.
Oh, I love that when Angel throws that back in Holland's face. You gotta help us. But somehow
People are going to die. I'm like, just lawyers.
No,
No
it's been
real
like,
loss.
I would have been like, no, not people, you guys.
Ugh.
And I think you made the comparison to what was that, the second episode this season?
Yeah.
The flashback episode when he leaves everyone in the hotel back in the 50s to the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel Sanders, yeah. Or Foghorn Leghorn, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just have to say, I'm sorry, this is spoilers, but I'm really happy that at least Lindsay and Lila make it out.
Yeah, they're like the only two who make it out.
Yeah. So, because I was worried. Like, I really, really did. Like, I had a thing for, I think a lot of girls had a thing for Christian Kane back in the early aughts. He did a couple of things. I was just like, no, not Lindsay. Angel has to be the one to kill him.
And Lila ain't bad on the eyes either, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. My secret ship actually came true, which we'll get to next season. Or season 4. I think it's next season.
Who, with Lila?
Spoilers!
Why didn't you say the other half?
Yes. That whole thing. I was just like, they actually did that? Did they read my diary secretly? Was there like that's the one thing that I regret. Like, I never was like on the Buffy forums, because I had a life back then with like sports and stuff. So I could watch the TV shows. I could even get all the extra stuff like the calendars and the canon books and stuff. But I never like got to be on like the forums.
Did you say sports?
Yeah, I played sports.
As in you played sports?
Yeah, cheerleading, volleyball, track.
Wow, I knew about the cheerleading, but not the volleyball and track.
Yes. I was quite athletic in my early days.
Wait a second.
Now I just like to punch stuff. So.
Well, that hasn't changed, but no, you said you wrote that you were writing about the show in your diary.
Yeah, well, a journal because I'm cool like that.
I know.
Diaries are for suckers.
Well, I wanted to say diary because I was gonna say. So you had a vampire diary.
Oh, so terrible. Actually, you know what? That show's not that bad. I mean, it turned to poop after season 5, but the books pretty good until they get the ghostwriter. No, like, yeah, it's a shame. Like, how not to be an author. LJ James, yeah, just how not to be an author. Poor thing. Anyway, so yeah, this episode is an A+ for me, hands down. I love everything about this episode.
Oh, definitely.
I love Darla. I love Drew. I love Angel, and like that last scene every single time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. Definitely an A+. I mean, anytime the first thing I think of when anyone mentions season 2 is this episode.
Yeah. No. First thing I just think of Darla and Drusilla and just like the bat saying and the bat guano plan that Wolfram and Hart had, and I'm just like, oh, honey.
Yeah, but like the thing that always stands out clearly to me in my memory of season 2 is this episode.
Yeah.
I love Drew in the basement. When Darla's like, "Oh yeah, Angel's here to punish us." She's like, "Darla, what Drusilla say? Spank us till Tuesday. We'll be bad if you do, or something."
I'm like, I'm telling Spike.
I know, and that's your dad, supposedly.
Her maker, she's his progeny. That's how that works. But
the incestuous vampire life.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the score too. So shout out to Robert Crawl because, a lot of suspenseful tension drumming around in the background.
And just the ultimate mic drop after Angel locks everyone in, just like slowly walks up the steps.
Yes. I have to say though that if you are gonna get the DVDs or the Blu-rays, don't get widescreen because that's where a lot of the bloopers come from. Because it was shot in widescreen, but it wasn't meant to be shown in widescreen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That was like a thing that Joss Whedon kind of demanded of a lot of his work.
Why? Can you see like boom mics and stuff, or?
Yeah. So. Just get the regular version. I'll just put, unless you like bloopers and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of takes me out of it, but like I always have to like bring it up, like the mannequin thing. There's a couple of other things like with the mirrors. Like I love what like how they do with mirrors because you have to use doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a real mirror. The whole thing. I was just like, yeah, it used to freak me out when I thought about it. I'm like, how come I'm not seeing cameras in the mirror when the movie's shooting? And then like I like looked it up when I was like 9. And I was
It's not Angel. Okay.
No. Like no, seriously, just there's a lot of movies that actually you do like people in mirrors, and you're just like, well, if it's a movie, why don't I see the camera people? It's a pretty cool trick though. But anyway. Yeah. Movies, illusions, smoke and mirrors, literally. Yeah. Anyway, hit them with the shameless plugs because we do have another awesome podcast to record.
That's right.
It's I heard it was Slingers Month on Ultimate Spider-Cast.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to sling with us, tune in. Well, in a couple minutes here on Get Vocal, but tomorrow on the podcast. All right, so send us your thoughts. Got a lot more Angel Season 2 coming up. Send your thoughts, capesandlunatics@gmail.com.
You don't even know. You guys are not ready for the rest of this season.
It'll be out of the world by the end of the season.
Dun.
I know. All right, so like I said, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. And... where's my notes? I'm so unprofessional. Here we go. Facebook.com/Angel TV Podcast.
Unprofessional is the fact that we've been doing this for 2 years and you don't have it memorized.
We do how many shows? I'm trying to get the specific social medias. @Angel TV Podcast and @CL Sidekicks on Twitter. CL Sidekicks on Instagram. Work in progress. capesandlunatics.org. It's down in the
passive aggressive.
Down in the wine cellar. Make sure.
Yeah, that's why it's not done. I got stuck in the wine cellar only.
I
know.
Make sure you subscribe to the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at capesandlunatics.home.blog. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPE. It's very handy for you illiterate types. And you can always watch us live on GetVocal, VOKL.com. And Lilith Hellfire, where can people invite you to doomed parties?
Yeah, I'm always down for a party. Like, I don't care, just as long as you give me your Wi-Fi password. I don't care. I'm there. If you have a cat or a dog that I can like literally spend all night in the corner just petting and talking crap about everybody to, even better. So for those invitations, please send them to me @Lilith Hellfire on Twitter and via @Lilith Hellfire 69 just for my sidekick peeps and my Capes and Lunatics peeps @Lilith Hellfire 69 on the gram. Seriously, that's how I roll. I don't socialize at parties.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear.
I drink the booze that eat the food. I thank the host, and I'm out.
That's nice to hear when you're coming up here in September. Anyway.
Dave and Buster's, it's done. I'm too drunk for this.
I'm going to start working out. I'll carry you out of there. I'm the Flash!
You know what? I will bring my skates that strap to my shoes so you can wheel me out easier.
Okay, 70s Iron Man. All right. We're done. All right, everyone. Join us next time. Angels off the deep end. Darla and Drusilla have had their fill. And what are Wesley Cordelia and Gunn going to do? Remember, the ever-present menace of Kate is still out there for at least 1 or 2 more episodes. I think you know true darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk to you again. Like I say, come back. We help the helpless, which is us.
No, you guys help the helpless, which are us.